It starts with a C minor arpeggio. It's got that little turn at the end. And then it kind of does that in a sequence. It just moves down. So it's, then it's got a couple of little tritone type things chromatically. So the whole first part is, and then it comes straight on down a flat diminished scale, starting on B natural. So far we have, and then now we're going to start coming back up. We're going to go a half step below tonic, which is C. We're going to start a whole tone scale on B natural. Right? And then when we get to the final pitch of the whole tone scale, which will be E flat, we're going to just play a Gershwin lick. Or you could go, you can end it however you want. There's a whole bunch of different ways to end it. So in total it goes like this. One more time. And one more time, a little slower. So that's kind of a fun little lick that you can do that kind of gets you moving down the fingerboard and then back up again. It utilizes a diminished scale, a whole tone scale, a minor arpeggio, and some of those little turns. You know, some of those turns and some of those cool chromatic tritone type things. You know, you can do those all over the place. You can do those for connecting things, like if you were in C. You know that bass line I was playing at the beginning? You know, this is all kind of along the lines of that inside-outside. You know, it's all based around C. You know, utilizing the blues scale or pentatonic minor pentatonic scale. Pure minor is a friend to the minor pentatonic scale. Those two go together real well. Harmonic minor, which is just the raised 7 of the pure minor scale. Alright, so what I did, it's got a few little major flavors in there too, so it kind of starts in a minor vibe. It infuses a little bit of major tonality, then switches back to the dark tritonal kind of, you know, ambiguous kind of chord. It's not distinctly major or minor sounding. And then to the diminished, which is basically just like a question without an answer. You know, it's just a scale that doesn't sound either major or minor. It sounds a little bit more on the dark, mysterious side. And then up the whole tone scale. And that one is super ambiguous. That one is just like, you know, just like really airy and really nondescript in terms of tonality. And that's what's cool about it. You know, it's really neutral. And then I ended with the Gershwin lick, which is kind of a spin on blues and classical music twisted together. So one more time. Cool, I hope you enjoy that and have a little bit of fun with that, and have fun, you know, moving around the fingerboard and mixing and matching these different scales. Remember that whole tone scale and that diminished scale work great at a half step above or below tonic. So I'm in C, you know, I utilize the, you know, I utilize the whole tone scale a half step below tonic too. You know, that works, you know, or a whole step below is even cooler too. You know, these scales want to resolve back to tonic, you know, it's just the nature of music. Now, in the C, before I go, you know, I just want to show you how these diminished scales resolve. So I'm in C. Whoops. Right? That's from a whole step above tonic. I mean, a half step above tonic. Now here's the diminished scale, a half step, starting at a half step below tonic. Right? And that one wants to go back to C. So, you know, another cool thing that you can do, I'm jumping around, going back to the whole tone scale, is you can start at a whole step below tonic. And that wants to go, naturally feels like it wants to go back to C. But you know, in the case of this lick, that time I started the whole tone scale a half step below tonic, and you know, to me I like that. I'm not afraid of dissonance. You know what I mean? People sometimes get a little bit paranoid about dissonant notes and thinking that they're wrong notes, where they're not wrong notes. They just have a different color. They just have a different shade. You know what I mean? It's all just shades. Music and pitches, all the pitches and notes. You know, there's no reason to be afraid of notes. You know, they're all just different shades. And if you were to analyze it, you know, with extended harmony and everything like that, you could figure out that everything fits. You know what I mean? There's a chromatic scale. It's all part of the chromatic scale, you know. Being friends with every note in the chromatic scale is going to take all the fear out of your playing. I think that a lot of players just have these kind of, they're too in the box, you know, because fundamental traditional American music has a lot of pattern-oriented bass lines. It's ingrained in us, and it's taught to us to play it in the meat and potatoes style, to be authentic to each style, and to play it in a very disciplined fashion within the frame of those patterns. So sometimes that's where we go, that's what we learn, and that's where we stay. And there's so much more that can be done with the instrument. There's so many different ways that we can explore all the pitches on the whole entire fingerboard and make music with them. Now, that type of lick wouldn't work if I was on a blues gig, you know, playing blues shuffles and stuff like that. I wouldn't be trying to pull that kind of thing off. But if I'm doing something that's along the lines of soul jazz or funky soul jazz, or what they call groove rock now, which is kind of like jam band music with a little bit of jazz thrown in, all that kind of stuff, you know, all that Grant Green stuff and that 60s era soul jazz. Those songs typically have a very simple harmony, you know, ahead at the beginning of the tune, and then they just have a groove. And within the framework of that kind of C minor, that would work. You know, you could do anything. You know, you can use all kinds of chromatic stuff. They create this great tension and then release. You know, the tension is what some people might call dissonance, and the release is the right note, what some people might call the right notes. You know, the happy, harmonious notes that just ring really nicely together, right? You know, everything's just as beautiful as the last thing, just in a different way. All right, friends, so have some fun with that, and we'll see you next time. Rock on.